his club from nothing. And I loves it.
Episode 4 of In the Dugout. Today we've got Bonamine legend John Tregembo on us. How are you, John? You right, mate?
Not too bad, not too bad. Good. How are you, Stu?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Living the dream in there in this lockdown.
Yeah.
How are you finding it?
Well, a bit hard. I don't like this working from home. You know, it's a bit. I lose the contact with people. You know, instead of just having a chat with someone, then you're writing 300 emails, and it's just. Be glad when it all gets back to normal.
Not for you, mate. Yeah,
no.
No, I'm the same, mate. It's frustrating, eh? But hey, mate, thanks for coming on and having a chat. Pal. We when we were discussing a few people who we were going to get on, your name kept cropping up, mate, from a lot of different people from different eras and stuff, mate. So yeah, I'm really pleased that we've got you on, and just looking forward to having a chat and sharing your experiences of Bonamine throughout the years, mate. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a bit of fun as well. I
hope I don't disappoint all two of them.
No, mate, it's been something. I've been really impressed with how it's taken off, really, the last couple of episodes. I don't know whether you've watched them.
Yeah, I watched it, but I enjoyed them thoroughly, yeah.
It's been good. It's been a good, a range of different eras and stuff, and it's just been good to get people talking about the club again and talking about the pastimes and sharing stories about different players they played against, and like I say, I just enjoy talking about rugby, and when it comes to talking about Bonamine as well, it's even better. So we'll get cracking, mate. So, John, what was your first memory of Bonamine?
Well, the first memory actually is a bit strange, really, because coming from a sort of a council house in Townhill, Gorse Avenue, I remember going into the bar up in Bonamine and people were speaking Welsh. And I'm thinking, am I in a different world? I'm a different country. It was strange, you know. And it was the days before people went into pubs. Well, I was 12-year-old when I went up there. People didn't go to pubs, and to go into the club, I thought it was fantastic. And we had to change then, not in the changing room. We had to change in the hall.
Right.
If you go, we had to stay at sort of separating towels and things like that. So you change one end.
Yeah.
And the junior rugby then we played on a Saturday.
Cool. Yeah.
We played rugby on a Saturday, and it was quite, we played at 1 o'clock, and the first or the seconds of the youth would come and watch. You'd have a good support.
Oh, that's amazing.
And that was sort of my first sort of memories of being in this club atmosphere.
Yeah.
And after the game, you'd have your soup and your bread, and it's the same you guys when you had your hot dogs and things like that, isn't it? It's something, I don't know, it's something bonding.
Yeah. What made you? Why Bonamine then? What was the?
I got Billy Jenkins to thank for that, really, and I was very friendly with his son Di Tank. We were in school together. We played rugby from 10-year-old.
Yeah.
We were in Bishopgore together, and Di said, "Would you like to come up and play for Bonamine?" And well, my father didn't even have a car in them days, so it was awkward for me. So, be fair to Billy Jenkins, he used to pick me up, training, Saturdays. We played rugby on a Saturday morning, we playing in the Saturday afternoon for Bonamine.
Yeah.
The junior rugby was brought in originally because it was all schools orientated.
Okay.
They brought it in then because some schools kids weren't playing, so they brought it into the club so the kids who didn't play for the school team could play for the club in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But, things happen. You play for your club in the morning. You play school in the morning. You play for your club in the afternoon.
Oh yeah.
And Billy was fantastic, and I got a lot to thank Billy for over the years. And also the other coach was George Llewellyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, what a legend! Yeah.
Yeah, he's so I would put him as a mixture between Gaza and Chris Davis. He was a character, a true character.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
God. So that was like your first sort of memories. Do you know, like you saying you playing on a Saturday then? Would you stay up there then and like watch the first?
Oh, we played behind the post then, and we just had to watch a game. We played behind the post, and then Mickey Cunliffe would come up and beat us up then, but because he was a couple of years older, we thought we were the kiddies, and he'd come up and put us out place.
Oh, outstanding! So so you came up there, a youngster, 12 years old. You say 10, 12 years old, and then. Do you know when you were watching, you were obviously playing behind the post and stuff, and you were watching, do you think, one day I want to play senior rugby?
I just loved everything. I just loved the watching, playing, being there, up in Bournemouth was, was my happy place. Like, I still love just being there.
Yeah. I know exactly where you're coming from. And I know a lot of boys feel the same as well. And it's been really difficult recently with everything that's going on and not being able to go up there. And like you said, when you go up there, it's a different type of environment, isn't it? And you just feel a part of something, and it's really special. And like all my best friends are the boys from up the club, and which is incredible, isn't it?
That's right.
So you can you remember, John, playing your first senior game?
Yeah, I can actually. It was away to Wynarlydd. Seconds.
Local
Wynarlydd were a good side at the time, and my ex-form teacher was in the back row for Wynarlydd, so you felt like you felt these are men, and I know he'd left school a few years, but you see your teacher there, with his beard there, and and they had a hell of a back row. It was Ian Jones, his name was, and they were called Charlie Watts, and I can't remember number 8, but they were an handful.
Was he related to Di Watts then? Di Watts, is that true?
Yes, I think it is. I think yes, yeah. I think it's his uncle.
Okay. Good player now, Di Watts.
Yeah. He played the centre, didn't he?
Yeah, class act. So can you so when you were playing that your first game then, can you remember who was alongside you? Who was playing with?
I think it was Pete Fraser. And I think it was Di Bailey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm not 100% sure of that. But I think there's a few of the old youth, my youth team that came out played.
Yeah.
But it's predominantly the older boys, because it was a tough old place to go in Ireland.
So you were relatively young then in the senior teams. How long did you go on playing for, John?
Well, I can going back to that. I can remember my first game for the first team.
Okay.
It was when they formed the section. They formed the new leagues, and we went into Section E, which Tony Clements was the captain.
Yeah, top man.
And and I can remember my first game for the first team was BP Landarcy.
Okay.
And I actually played 4 games that year for the first team. And when I went to the presentation, then because I hadn't played 5, I didn't get a medal, and I was a sort of 19-year-old kid. And you sit in there, you think, "Where's my medal?" And they go, and you think,
"Oh no way!"
So I was devastated.
Oh, I bet. Did you know when you got called up for the first then? Was it like, you know what, I'm chuffed, like this is where I went up? Yeah.
Well, I think it was an injury. It's a bloke called Falvey. And I think he got injured, and they brought me in, and I was just, and you had Tony then saying that you don't be afraid of them, and you think, well, I'm not going to be afraid. He was immense, wasn't he, as a captain, a leader.
Yeah, and I still a lot of people I spoke about, I think, with Mark John, like just the way that people still hold him in massive regard at the club. He's a giant of a man, and and personality wise and everything. It's great. So when you're looking back, John, is there anybody that you come across, or any team that you played against, that you thought, oh, you know what, they're a good outfit, these are, or a real tough opponent?
Well, when I first came to youth, it was I've written it down. It was Wynarlydd the top side, Gowerton, Athlwen were a very good side. Astra Gunlice, they were totally mental. Whatever, if you played first, second, third against Astra Gunlice, and they liked a bit of jack bashing as well. So it was. They were, and in the later times then, like there was Penlan with a team then, they were a tough old side,
Yeah.
I don't think we feared anybody really, did we, in Bournemouth? Did we? It was we just give as good as we got.
Yeah, and you just got on with it back then, wasn't it? It was just
right.
part and parcel of the game, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, you'd have a kick in. You knew going to floor. You was going to have a kick in, and you kick to the back. They kick you once, you kick them twice.
do you miss playing? Did you miss playing when you finished? Did you think, body?
I'd love it. Up till a couple of years ago, I'd have said I would have had a game. If someone said to me, "Do you want a game?" I know it's ridiculous, and I wouldn't have lasted 30 seconds. But I would love to have had a game.
Yeah. Just mentally, you were still there, still got it. Like, yeah.
I don't know. Perhaps I don't know.
Oh, John, we'll have to get you up there, mate, one day.
No, I'm not. Perhaps I should take that back.
Yeah, we got this recorded now, pal. So we'll have to hold you by this. John, I want to touch upon as well. Obviously, you went from playing. We'll go back to like your career as a player, but I really want to touch on the coaching side of what you did as well, mate. And obviously coaching Gareth's age all the way through, and the amount of messages that I've had and the amount of people that I've spoken to who still hold you in the highest of regards and speak to you. And you talked down this, my favourite coach, my best ever coach, John Tregembo. He taught us the right way, and I think you look at how successful that era of players was, and replicates into the success of Bonamine now. If it wasn't for yourself and the proper Bonamine men, Nicky Cunniff, Kev Brooks, Keith Brooks, going back and instilling that type of ethos and mentality into the boys, I don't think we'd be as successful as what we were now. So just want to touch upon your coaching. What obviously you had Gareth, and did you really enjoy going back? And was it something you always wanted to do?
Well, when I finished playing in 1995, I think it was, I coached the youth then.
Yeah.
I'd done 4 years with the youth then.
Oh, definitely.
Then I finished, and we came back with Bryn Towie, which I think was the best thing the club ever did, but to have Bryn Towie. And and that was great thanks to Tony Clement and to be honest to John Haig, because we did have a bit of objection about running two sides at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, not only from the Welsh Rugby Union or the Welsh Youth Rugby Union, but from within the club itself.
What was the reasons for that then? Why was the
I
objection?
think people wanted bigger squads instead of having boys playing on a Saturday. I don't want to go into too much of the politics of it, but it was a bit. So we had a hard struggle actually, but we came through, and I think it was one of the best things ever to happen to have Bonamine, to have the two sides, especially at a time when the money ran out.
Yeah.
And we had two sides really ready to go.
Yeah, and I think like the way that I think the boys that we had coming into that team, we were lucky that we had them coached by people like yourself, mate, and. They were winners, weren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
you coached winners, and I can remember when the money had went and we came back and we played Carmarthen Quins first game of the season, I think it was, and we were like really really young, and we lost the game, but we battled hard against them. It was a close game, and I remember us all being gutted, like really really gutted. I remember people saying, well, you're just given probably the team who's going to win the league, but we weren't used to losing. Do you know what I mean? And that was the biggest thing.
The mentality the mentality was, that era, your era, the era before you as well, the team before you.
Yeah. My
team sort of thing, the team underneath us, they were just winners. They just wanted to win.
Yeah, 100%. Do you know, looking at the teams that you've coached, John, was there any standout individual, or that you thought, oh, you know what, this boy, he's a flipping talent, like he could go all the way, or anyone in particular?
There's so many, really, wasn't there? So many class players. I thought when I first coached, there's a number called Geraint Davis, played in Di Hill's team. I think Di might have mentioned him actually in his. And I thought he really could have gone all the way. Obviously, you had the Sam Kileys, didn't you? You had it's too many to Dean Howells type people. There was so many. Dwayne, fantastic.
Yeah. And you lose a bit of a handful, old John, when he was coaching. You had to send him on a few laps now and again, wasn't it?
I had to tell him, yeah.
I can imagine, mate. He's still the same now when I'm coaching him. So, great, because You know, I was talking to Hughesy yesterday about it.
Oh, Mike Hughes, another fan. You know, it goes on, doesn't it? All these players.
Yeah, Richie Cunniff and people like that. Like, and honestly, the way that
Nicky
you know,
Harwood.
Yeah, class. Darren Fenders, people like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but they still, but those are the boys like Pritchie and stuff like that. They're all the boys now that are the backbone of our squad. Senior members now of our team, and is, you know, really fortunate that we've had that kind of spine now, and we've got these boys who've got a great mentality, and it's all stemmed from the coaching which they received at a younger age, like, you know. So hats off to you and a lot of the other coaches who've you know, put all the effort in, mate, to be honest with you. Going back to your playing days now, John, any memorable game that you could think of?
Well, there's a couple of games, but there's a memorable season, really. It was the 1994-95 season when we was the third team. A little bit of history. The seconds were told they had to change the name to the Athletic. There was a little bit of politics going on about they were trying to not penny pinch. They were going to try and save a bit of few bob because they were paying players, and so they decided. I think in the background they didn't really want to have a third team.
Right. Cool.
To be fair, myself and Nicky kind of fought the good fight, and we won the day. But it was a time when we just wanted to play third team rugby, friendlies, and have a game, and just a few pints on our view.
Yeah.
But the conditions that were set for us was that if we carried on having a third team, we would have to take over the second team fixtures in the Swansea district.
Right.
Which we took it on board. Yeah. So in that season, there were some good players there. You know, it's if I start mentioning one, it won't be fair on the others. But we had a really good side. We played 24 in the Swansea district. We played 24. I got the statistics here.
Oh wow!
We played 24 games, won 24. We scored 700 points and scored 106 tries.
God, flipping it.
And our number 8 Malcolm Joe scored 30 tries.
God, it's incredible.
Yeah, we won the Swansea District Cup, the President's Cup, Swansea District, and the Swansea District top try scorers as well.
God.
But if you say a game, two games that come to my mind out of that season was going up to Penlan and in the quarter-final, and we took their 4-year ground record.
Wow.
And that was the toughest game I've ever played in. I couldn't move for a week.
No.
It was absolutely brutal. That was
Penlan first then, though, John, was
we
it?
played, yeah. They were junior union at the time, so was Birchgrove, Southgower. So our third team were playing their first teams.
Flipping heck. Wow.
So it was quite a good achievement.
Yeah, talk us through that game up in Penlan, mate. Talk us through it.
Oh, it was just and we were told, we were wound up before the game. I think we were told some of the Birchgrove coaches at the time. They said you don't want to take them on up front, but you had to take them on up front because it's a small pitch.
Yeah, gosh, yeah.
So you know it was like a red rag to a bull to us. Then don't take them on up front because they're gonna bosh you and they're gonna beat you. Yeah. So we went toe to toe and we won the battle. We won. We came out on top.
Yeah.
It was.
And you took their 4-year record off them.
Yeah, 4-year ground record, yeah. And there's another match then that we played Birchgrove over in Morrison in the semi-final the same year. Birchgrove had won the prestigious Brewers Cup. Have you ever heard of the Welsh Brewers Cup? Yeah,
Brewers Cup, yeah.
Yeah, and they was played in the Millennium Stadium or Cardiff Arms Park. I can't remember which one it was. And Birchgrove had won that. And, you know, as the Chinese whispers go, then they were saying that they're going to get a carpenter in to give their trophy cabinet extension. Really? So the boys were sort of wound up for it.
Yeah.
And it's a funny little story. Can you remember a referee, Ron Harris? He had a little bit of a stutter. He might have done a few junior games.
Probably, mate. Yeah, probably.
Well, he was picked as the referee for the game, and so we're all waiting in Morrison, and then Ron comes over, he says to me, he says, and he only when he got a bit panicky, he started stammering or stuttering, and he said, John, there's no fucking linesman, he said, one of mine, carnage. And it was, actually.
And it was.
And another incident that I can remember, we got on top. I think Mark and Jones scored 2 tries, and it was Kevin Brooks in the corner of the field started singing "When the Red Robin Goes Marked Off."
Oh,
and we got that in down.
No, I bet.
Yeah. But, yeah, all good fun. All good fun.
So you won that then, and you went down to St. Helens then, John, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I can remember that game. I was little, but I can remember going down to watch that.
Well, it was like a family thing with us, you know, because I suppose people get on a bit. They had children or friends had children. It was like it was all sort of yeah, it was good.
Because I've seen that photo up on the club, you know, and it's such a great photo. And you know what it's like after a few pints up the club, and then everyone's, oh, the bottom line used to have a third team up here, and then everyone's like, well, one day we'll bring a third team back up here. We won't train, we'll just turn up and we'll have a game on a Saturday. And
I'll give you a fact now, Stuart. We had a 4th team up there one time.
God.
4 senior sides. It didn't last for long.
No.
We had 4 senior sides, and I think they played about 6 games. They called themselves Born-a-Mine Fourths Men on the Moon, because we didn't have the facilities to cater for all these teams, to be fair.
Yeah.
So they played anywhere. They said, well, we'll play on the moon if you like. And they had T-shirts with Born-a-Mine Fourth Team Men on the Moon.
Oh wow, I did not know that. That's incredible. Was that the same era then as?
Around the 80s. The 80s, yeah, early 80s.
Oh, I hope that one day it'd be great. Just all the boys come back and just have one more game, one more season together, and the third's like it'd be superb. Oh, that's outstanding. Looking back at your career, John, how old were you when you finished? Did you say?
38.
38. So flipping like, is that hell of a career, like going from all 12 years old all the way to there. Is there anything that you would change looking back?
Can I tell you one more story from this season?
Of course you
94, 95.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the season there, we were invited up to Cinderford to play in a veterans game.
Right.
So we went up into this. We thought, oh, a bunch of English guys now. We'll just beat them up and have a few pints and go home, like, you know. But we get to Cinderford, and the changing room is rocking because they are totally up for it. They are bouncing, and we think, oh God, we don't really want this, because we did our season and we had a few boys hadn't played for a long time, and they were coming back just to have a throw about the last hurrah, you know. Yeah. So it was a battle. It was a battle all the way through. It was bodies everywhere, people fighting here, and then in the end, 10 minutes before half time, the referee blows a whistle. He says, "Listen, now," he said, "I've had enough of this. If there's any more, I'm walking off." So we'd half time. We were all going into the huddle. So we had this guy then, Tony Guaida, who used to play for us. He came up from Dunvant. He was a tough boy. I think he ended up being a professional minder out in Saudi Arabia.
God.
He was a tough boy.
Yeah. So
we're all in the huddle here, and they had their huddle over there, and they had this chap playing for them called Bomber, and he was there. He was about 6'5", 20 stone, and he was kicking everyone, punching everybody.
The bully.
Yeah. So we were in the huddle here. So I look across now, and Guaida's sneaking into the huddle. And they let him in because they don't realise what's going on. He get this almighty uppercut, and he knocked Bomber out. Oh, it was the funniest thing I've seen. It was the funniest thing I've seen play rugby. The ref said, "Right, that's the lot." Anyway, we carried on, and we had a few pints after, and it was great. It was great.
That's outstanding.
That was a hell of a season. It was a hell of a great season. Got so many memories from it.
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant. So in that team then, John, it was like sort of Nicky Cunniff, is it? Nicky Cunniff in that
Cunniff, one? Yeah. Sammy Morris.
Sammy.
I got a photo here, actually. Sammy Morris, Klein Morris, Malcolm Jones, Brian Jones, Roy Price, Garbo.
Oh, brilliant.
Peter James. Lots of very good players, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But they'd come through the Born-a-Mine kind of like way as well, and they probably get to that point. It was like they're not quite ready to give it up and And I just find it awesome that they've gone, right, we'll have one more year with all my mates.
Yeah.
And let's see how far it goes. And you play 24 games and win 24 of them, win everything, which is what a way to go out, isn't it?
Yeah, when we trained hard as well, we because the Athletic come first, we used to train on the same night, and then they'd split up, and then we'd have to go behind the posts because
no room for it.
No, there's no room for us, and but we worked hard. We trained hard, and people thought, a big fat lot of people, but we did work hard in training.
Yeah, and it showed down with the results, obviously.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, awesome! That's a great story as well. I love that. That's so funny. So yeah, John, anything you'd look to change in your career? Anything?
Well, like if I was 6'6" and 17 stone, that would have been all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah. There's nothing that you think, I'd have changed. I would be a bit different there, or.
Well, what do you mean? In regrets or what? Or what?
Yeah, regrets. There's a few people I've spoken to
well,
about it.
I did. I was when all the money went, and Owl Bryant there. I think he was top committee man. I played with Owl as well. He was a great player, Owl. He asked me, "Would you like to coach the first?" And I declined, and I sort of regretted that since.
Yeah. John, we'll get you back up there, mate. You can have it.
I know. It's too cold up there for me now, my age.
All the boys would love that, mate. Honestly, the way they still speak about you, probably more than happy to. It's because, you look at it and you speak to a lot of people, and, I spoke to Warlords and Dials and people like that, and they say, oh, you know what, finished probably a bit too soon. 31, 34, whatever it was. Like, and, I look at it as well. I was 32 and like my knees packed in, my wrists packed in, and you think, oh, did I finish a bit soon kind of thing? But then, there's always you can always go back to it, try and keep yourself a little bit fit, I suppose, and maybe have one more year like you boys did, and try and get a third team up there, and
that'd be really good, wouldn't it?
Have one more battle. I think that's and a lot of boys have said that as well. So hopefully we can get that going. John, we're going to move on now to your Bonamine 15.
Right.
Have you found this difficult to do?
Oh, I found it terrible. Yeah, I forgot how many people I played with, and because I played for nearly sort of 2 decades, and I was thinking of Mark John because he's played for nearly 3 decades, isn't he? And I'm thinking all the people must have gone through his mind is.
John was always stressing.
And I wrote a few people down, and then I'm thinking, how about him? And I'm thinking, it's absolutely.
It's carnage, isn't it? It's hard work.
Yeah, it's hard work. I'm picking a team on a Saturday.
Go on, mate. We'll start with the Lucid.
Right. I'm going to mention. Well, obviously, Di Tank. I grew up with Di Tank, and he was a beast of a man, and he was, he was top player. But Di worked on the rigs, so we didn't see the best of Di really. But he was a real good player. Also, Jeremy White, Chalky's man. He was a good Lucid, and quite underrated really, but a real good player.
Good character.
But my number one is Andrew Majors.
Yeah. Andrew Majors. Just all good Lucid, John, all good scrummager.
Tough as teak. He never said much on the field, never said much off the field really, and
just got on with it.
But he just got on with it, and he's a tough old boy. Yeah.
Great stuff. Hooker, who have we gone for?
Okay, well, I played with Anthony Wallace in the youth, who's a Welsh youth cap, who's a very good player. He didn't do much after youth. I think he had a few injuries. He had a car accident. I also played with Di Fox in youth. Seniors, he was well. In one game, we played down in Cadwelly, and Wally was playing, or Anthony Wallace was playing hooker. But we had to get him on the team, so they played him on the wing. And the Welsh selectors were saying, "Why haven't we seen this guy all season? Yeah. Where's he been?" And he was
flipping heck. He was equally as good on the wing as well, probably.
Oh, he was superb. He was, and like I said, the Welsh selectors were saying, "Why haven't we seen this bloke in the trials?"
Yeah. Gosh, that's outstanding, amazing.
Yeah, it's also Clyde Morris, good player. We give 100%, but the one you want to be in the trenches with is Charlie Cunniff, and so Charlie Cunniff's my number 2.
Nicky Kennedy. Do you know, Charlie coached me along with my dad now, like, but with Charlie, it was the same, I can imagine, as yourself, John. He had this bone-of-mind vision, and the way that he treated us and the way that we reacted to him, it was like, still to this day, with the utmost respect for him. And you talk about like the best coaches I've been involved with, and Charlie would be up there, like, and he's got, I don't know, it's just like an aura with yourself and Charlie and people like that. You just want to follow them, you just want to be like them, and they teach you what it's like to be bottom line, I suppose. And you kind of take that on board then, and you kind of like live with it. It lives with you, I suppose, mate. And you just try and instill that now into my kids and the kids that I'm coaching as well now. So just trying to get the boys to have the same experiences which we had, like. But Nicky Cunniff, yeah, what an absolute legend, mate. Legend. He had a few battles with Penland boys over the years.
Yes, he did. Yes, he gave us what he got, and he gave a bit more actually. You know, no, he's great. Top man, top player.
Yeah, outstanding. Tight dead.
Well, like Mark Llewellyn once, he was a good tight dead. He could play both heads, but he was better tight dead. Andrew Fitzgerald. But I'm going for the late Ivan Pugh. Was Richie Pugh the seventh specialist?
Yeah.
His father.
Okay. I didn't know.
Great scrummager. Great.
Is it?
Proper tight head. Great scrummager. Played for Swansea Athletic. A couple of games for Swansea. Played for Swansea Athletic. But when they disbanded, Ivan came up with us, and
class act.
Top scrummager. Top scrummager.
Yeah. So that's a solid front three there, but.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't take no prisoners there. But.
Few yellow cards.
I think that I might be wrong in this, but the statsmen will tell you. But I think it's the front row that beat Tumble in the Tavali Cup. I think I might be right on that, but I might be wrong.
We'll have to check that one then.
Yeah.
We'll make a note of that. We'll have to check that. Right, second rows.
Well, there's only one. I'll name a few people I played with. You know, contention. Yeah. Pat Nolan was a good player, very good. You know, good line-up jumper. Obviously, Kevin Brooks, Billy McFenton. Oh, yeah. Brian Jones, Alan Miller. I played with the youth with Alan and Brian. But the two I'm going to pick is I'm going to pick Roy Price. Roy Price, yeah. Tough man. Tough bloke. Tough man. Yeah. Animal. Yeah, who we going for the other one? Who's joining? And the top second row, obviously, he was one of the first men on the sheet is Tony Clement. You know, inspirational man. Was he a captain then, John? Back he was captain. Yeah. What a guy. Yeah, massive person. Top captain, top player. Yeah. Yeah, it was great to see everybody at the club for that. It was a bit of like a reunion not so long ago in there, like a couple of before all this crap was happening. Like, and it was loads of people telling different stories and stuff like about it. It was so good to see the bar full of everybody, and obviously I know Clem had a big part of that as well. Didn't he, try to get everyone together? Like, so still. Well, if Clem says to go somewhere, you go. You still do it, you know, like he did as a player. If he said, "Let's bloody jump over here," you jump over there. And if he says, "Let's go up the club," he goes up the club. Can't argue with that, mate. He still owes that respect. Yeah, I love that, and that's right, spot on. Blindside. Oh, I'm going to pick a number 8 as a blindside. Oh, go on. Controversial. Let me get my sheet by here now. I'm going to name a couple of players I played with, and then I'm going to name, Colin Clutterbuck. Do you know Colin? Yeah, a lot of people have spoken about him. Yeah. Yeah, Colin Clutter, tough old boy, and he played prop as well, and he was he was a really strong man. I played with his 3 Sturgis boys. Neil, I played a lot with Neil over the years. Yeah. Great player. Not so much with Mark and Tony, but I played a lot with Neil. Top man, top player. And it was Ken Isaac. You heard of Ken Isaac? Yeah, Kenny Isaac. Yeah. He was something special. Yeah. Also Andrew Myers. Yeah. You heard about him, yeah. Andrew Myers, yeah. We also had Mark Williams and Russell Price come up from Minnebark. They played. They done lots for Bournemouth Mine. They played really well. Mark was a good player, strong, good player. Yeah. But I'm going to pick Malcolm Jones as a blind side. Right. Okay. He's the chap he played 8 for us in the third when we scored. He scored 30 tries, so he'll be handy to have on the team.
Oh yeah, get touchdown, mate. Yeah, 30 tries from the back row, flipping heck.
And I'm gonna pick a Bonamine stalwart as far as I'm concerned. I played with him more than anybody really up in Bonamine. I'm going for Mike Terry. He was a consistent player.
Yeah.
And I played for him in the back row as well.
So he's 7, is he, John?
Yeah, picking him 7.
Mike Terry. I'm not sure I know Mike. I don't know
that. Mike managed the youth team, and he done a bit after he finished, you know. But
yeah. A nuisance, was he, John?
Yeah, he's a nuisance. Yeah, but he was a silent assassin as well. Like, you know, I'd always get the blame. He'd kick him and he'd blame me.
I like that. That's like what I was like. Yeah, that's pretty much what I used to do. Yeah. Number 8, John.
Well, I'm going to name. It was George Poole. I didn't really play that much with George, but George was very fit, and you used to watch him play. He's a very good player, George. Excellent player.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jakey Powell, another superb player, character as well. Yeah. But I'm going for Malcolm Griffiths, the late Malcolm Griffiths.
Yeah, Malcolm Griffiths. Yeah. Griffiths. Good player, John.
Oh, superb. Yeah. Top player, top bloke. Yeah. In fact, I think he was best man to 6 or 7 people.
Wow, flipping! I just speaks
volumes. Speaks volumes of the man's respect. But as a player as well, he had it all. You know, he was really good. Yeah. He had a few games for Neath, but he was Bonamine through and through.
He captained for a few seasons as well, John, didn't he?
Yeah, captain the first team. Yeah.
Oh, superb, man! Awesome. That's a crazy pack, isn't it? Flipping.
Oh yeah, taking prisoners that pack.
There's some animals in there, yeah. Scrum half, John.
Right, let me get my little bit of paperwork here for a minute. Well, I played with Simon Morris. Was a really good scrum half at youth level. He would have been in senior level as well. But the person I'm picking, I think. This fella could have gone all the way, really. I think he had so much potential.
Yeah.
He's been a great servant of Bonamine. But what a scrum half. I'm going Chris Davis.
Chrissy Davis. What a guy. He's still having a game as well. He's
a very, very good player. And I think, I think he could have gone a long, long way.
Yeah. He's still see glimpses.
If he listens, I hope he don't mind me saying, I think he didn't fulfill his potential, really.
Mm. Yeah, he was down in Swansea for a bit, wasn't he? Didn't he have like a few games?
I think he kept Robert Jones out of going on a Far East tour.
God, yeah, he still trains with us like now and again, and he always puts his hand up and has a few games for a second. He enjoys box kicking in the opposition 22 these days. That's his new tactic now. Get to their 22, and he puts a little box kick up like.
But he can't run. He can't run,
and he still likes to throw it about as well, and have a bit of a scrap as well. But like you said, he's a character at the club, mate, and what a guy, top man. So Chris at 10. Who's partnering him at? At 9. Well, who's partnering him at 10?
I played youth rugby with Malcolm Dace. He's Welsh international, and he was something special. And he played Welsh youth. He played for the Welsh senior side. But my number 10 is Steve Thomas. Tomo.
Right. Okay. I think I know him. Steve Thomas. A local boy, John, or?
Yeah, I played for Bonamine. He lives in Parkman Viaduct now, but he lived in. He was from Terrace Road at the time, and I think he was one of the first people to go to. I think he passed his. I think Kevin England was not a grammar school, but I think it was the first. Well, I might get this wrong, so I once, but he came from Terrace Road to Kevin England, and he met all the Bonamine boys, and all of a sudden. He's a Bonamine boy, He
sucked him in, mate. That's it. Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
And he's a legend, really, up there. Hell of a left foot.
Yeah.
He played a bit of flanker as well, so he was tough as nails as well. Very brave. Read the game.
A lot, like.
Yeah, Tom was my number 10.
You touched upon Dacey then. You said you played youth with him. Did you know, like, you know, some players you watch and you play alongside, you think, he's different level. Do you know he'd go on and represent Wales and all that?
Yes, he was class. He controlled the game. He just another gear, isn't it? You know, they got so much time as class players, haven't they? They think, it looks easy. They make it look easy, don't they?
That's it. Yeah, it's so much time on the ball and just make things happen. Yeah.
They can just go through gaps where other people would struggle.
Oh, if only, innit? If only. Left wing, John.
Oh, I got on the wings. Well, there's a chap who played in the seconds a lot, Neil X. So I'm going to mention him. I think he scored 6 tries. I think he might still own the record up in Bournemouth for most senior tries in a game. I think it was either 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But I'm going from the wings for Derek East and Di Owens.
Wow. Derek East.